Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've been out on this lake and it's been nice and cloudy. In fact, we're starting to get a little storm in here, so I may need to cut this video short. But it's been nice and overcast, which means that it's a really good day for summer topwater fishing. So I've been throwing this little walking bait. This is the Yozuri 3DB. Had a lot of fun with it today. Caught a lot of fish. My favorite line for throwing most treble hook topwater baits is braid. You know, I use Seaguar Tactics, usually like 30-pound test. It's a really good line size for casting long distances. It's very thin per pound test rating. And braid has a lot of great qualities for throwing topwaters. I think it gives it a lot of good action even at the length of a cast. You feel everything. You can feel when those fish bite. And you can, you know, there's no stretch. So when you go to set the hook, you're gonna hook those fish if they have it in their mouth. But one of the things that is very frustrating about fishing braided line with topwater is the fact that it is so soft and, you know, foldable and supple, whatever you want to describe it. It's, you know, it's not stiff at all. You know, it's just fabric. And so one thing that it does a lot is if you're just tying it directly to your topwater, it tends to tangle in the hooks. It is so annoying throughout a fishing day throwing a topwater bait to have, especially if you got like 3 trebles on there, to have the braid constantly fold back and snag in those hooks. So this whole video is about this one little tip. So the tip that I have for you guys is instead of tying your braided main line directly to whatever topwater you're using, make sure that you tie a short monofilament leader in between the lure and the braid, okay? And that is important for a couple reasons. Number one, monofilament is gonna float just like braid does, or it's at least not gonna sink very fast. And also, monofilament also has a lot of stretch. So stretch is a good thing sometimes, you know, especially when you're throwing a bait that has treble hooks. That's gonna allow you to you know, get a hook set to where you're not, you know, pulling too hard on those fish. And as you're fighting the fish, it gives a little bit of cushion, a little bit of flex that really, you know, allows you to not lose as many fish. But the main reason why I put this monofilament leader on here, and this is only maybe 12 inches long, and this is longer than it needs to be, but the main reason for that is that monofilament is pretty wiry, especially if you're using 15 to 20 pound test monofilament. It's pretty wiry. It doesn't fold as easy as braid. You know, it's not gonna wanna do that. If I hold it, it's, you know, it's still pretty rigid. And what that does is it allows this line to not snag in the hooks near as much. So whenever you're fishing a topwater, I highly recommend using braid as your main line, or at least trying it, but put on a monofilament leader on there that's at least twice the length of the bait that you're using. And I think that you're gonna have a lot more success with it, and you're gonna have a lot less headache with that line, that braided line snagging in the hooks. So anyways, guys, just wanted to give you guys that tip. It's a tip that, man, whenever I get lazy and don't tie on that monofilament leader, I just end up hating myself in about 10 minutes because I've already had to untangle my treble hooks like 4 or 5 times. So don't do it. Just tie on a little bit of monofilament and thank me later. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I hope you get on a topwater bite this summer that is as good as the one I had today. But anyways, guys, I'm going to see you out on the water. Make sure you trust the process.